We all know that there is no privacy without security. And we also know that security professionals need to know about privacy professionals need to know about security. So, where is the interlap? For this, I have found an exciting guest who is the board member of ISACA, just like me, and he's also the president of ISACA Belgium board. And we're going to talk about what is security, why does it matter to privacy professionals, and why does privacy matter to security professionals, what do security professionals need to know about privacy, and so on. So let's go and talk to Egide, and I will struggle to pronounce his last name, but I will try. Egide Nazabonima.
Hello, and welcome to the Fit for Privacy podcast with Punit Bhatia. This is the podcast for those who care about their privacy. Here, your host, Punit Bhatia, has conversations with industry leaders about their perspectives, ideas, and opinions relating to privacy, data protection, and related matters. Be aware that the views and opinions expressed in this podcast are not legal advice. Let us get started.
Here we are with Egide. Egide, welcome to Fit for Privacy podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So it's great to have you, and let's start the conversation by asking you a simple question. As a security professional, when you hear about or think about the word GDPR, what comes to your mind?
Well, great question. When I hear the word GDPR, of course, it's always related to privacy, and also it's give me also a kind of link to the right, because we are talking about right and privacy, and of course limited to the European environment in which we are. So I think for me, it's really to see the the reason we come up with a GDPR with those rights to be respected, and also in which domain of in each environment which we are in Europe to cover those topics regarding the rights of the people, the personal information, and also, of course, the way we are dealing with digital assets in Europe according to other worldwide environment.
That makes sense. And why does that privacy element matter for someone who's a security professional, security pro? Because as a security pro, you are more interested in protecting systems, protecting data, network, everything, not caring about protection, privacy, personal, and everything. You want to protect all data. And why does then privacy matter for a privacy pro, security pro, I would say?
Well, privacy matter. I would say not only for security professionals, of course, it's matter for every individuals worldwide. So maybe just to start with a kind of simplify what we understand about privacy. Privacy, like I said, it's the right. It's the right to be free from any intrusion, any surveillance in one person of like in group of people. So privacy, it's really a kind of matter in individual rights and recognized also worldwide with all different companies or different um, um, uh, way in the world. If we go anywhere, we still have to matter about our privacy, and each of us, of course, are really interested in somehow on the way we are giving our data and the way we are giving our information regarding who we are and what we are doing and what we are sharing with others. So it's really the ability to control access to your own data, your own information about what you are, what about yourself, and also to make choices. And this is the reason we are talking about the right, of course. Making choices meaning that I'm able to choose when and how and what information I'm sharing with others, and in the way I'm sharing to others. And if we are talking about, of course, security professionals and also security, before that, maybe also simplify the security. What is security? Security actually is the state of being protected. And being protected, it could be against danger, loss of criminals, and different other bad things that can happen to your data and also to your personal information. So it's meaning really regarding security is the way how are you putting a tech or a setting in place of putting in place measurements to protect your assets, the information, your data, of course, protecting also people, properties, and also different area of human being, and also regarding your companies. So if we see those two elements for security professionals, privacy actually matter more than before, because we see that we are actually in the era of digitalization. We are using a lot of digital assets, and we are going also in the future to use more of those different innovation technology that we have today. So it's really matter for professionals to be sure that they can still be the one implementing such measurement, and also to know what have to be protected and in which way we see those complexity interaction between the systems and infrastructure which we have, which we are using day to day, to make sure that those one are protected, the data are protected for unauthorized access that cannot be modified without the consent of the right of those people which we are collecting data, of modified of this destruction of those data. So it's really matter for professionals to be to keep an eye on the evolution on the technology, but also to keep an eye on the rights of every individuals worldwide, and especially here in Europe, of course, with GDPR.
That makes sense, and I think we always say there is no privacy without security. So, privacy and security do go hand in hand. And then the question becomes, yes, privacy is important for security professionals, but how much of privacy knowledge does a security professional need to have? Do they need to become certified? Do they need to just be aware of it? Do they attend the training that's given in the organization? Because you will understand and you will agree to an extent that security has an important role to play in implementation and compliance of privacy. So, if there's a security professional, how much of privacy knowledge do they need to have?
Well, great question. A great question here. Um, Allow me, before maybe giving what elements are very essential for security professionals of those working in the privacy domains that have to have as minimum. We can maybe start by looking to our society, or where the way we are living today. Um, I always, when I'm helping different companies and helping also some professionals in our sector, I always give them one of the examples, saying, okay, we are in the company to bring value to what we are doing. It could be in the services that we are offering, the product that we are offering on the market, and the company are not all isolated. We cannot do a business without being interconnected and interaction with other companies, with other people outside in the community and outside in the way we are living today. So it brings me to the one example that I want to share with others, and I like to share with others, and which I like, is that many years ago, the United Nations set up different goals to transform our world. They have really take time to look to the future. There were more than 195 countries contributing in this United Nations General Assembly way ago, and they come up with different goals. It's actually 17 goals. In in the way we have to look on the sustainability development, meaning making sure that we have sustainable economic development. And one of the analogy I always make regarding this, if we want to get sustainability economic development, which is a way actually, if maybe we explain it very easily to others, what's in it for them, what's in it for day to day. Actually, it's a way that we have to look at the future. What are the future needs? And come back saying, okay, from day to day now, what do we have to do to make sure that those future is will be much easier for the new generation, for the planet, for the economy, so that we have a sustainable future. And this kind of approach aims to meet the needs of the present generation, making sure that we, of course, we meet our needs, but also to have a look on the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs as well. So privacy and security, like we have just said, it's quite important here, and those are the key elements in this era where we are, that will make the change, and this will make sure that in the future, if we want to really deliver those sustainable development, economic development, we will have to deal with those two key elements, which is privacy and security, of course. And I'm used to compare privacy and security to the electricity today. If we see the electricity in some developed country and not developed country, we see that it plays a backbone role on the way you can develop. So privacy and security are like the electricity that powers those sustainable economic development, just as electricity is necessary today for the infrastructure, for the business that can simulate the economic growth, and also bringing more digital innovation. So we see that those two elements, privacy and security, are very essential. So it's will ask us today from security professionals and also for the future to develop other skills that maybe we didn't consider in the past and that we will be needing in those digital development, and those different skills that we need, and knowledge, of course, regarding privacy will be on the side of, there are some capabilities and knowledge needing and expertising needs on the technical way of doing things, meaning that you don't have to understand the to have an expertise on that, but you need a minimum understanding on how the technology is working. You need a minimum understanding regarding, okay, if we are talking about innovation by using the technology, how are we making sure that we are following the emerging technology and emerging trends to make sure that we are all up to date, and also following all those elements, and making sure that the personal rights is all the time respected, and also that the security part is also our different measurements are implemented. So we have to develop skills, we have to show up that we have enough of knowledge, and of course we will still have to connect with those different stakeholders to make sure that we all the time we are informed, and also that we know what is going on and what is the development needed from there on.
That makes sense. I really like the analogy with electricity, because electricity used to be the backbone of an industrial economy. And as we get into a digital economy, privacy, security, and digital laws, how you govern data, how you manage data, how do you govern privacy, how do you manage cybersecurity, how do you manage artificial intelligence, is going to determine how strong or strengthened your digital economy is going to be. So I really like that idea. And if I am, or if someone was a security professional, you tell them that, they will, the next question they will usually ask you is, do I need to become certified in privacy to have more stronger credentials as a security professionals? Would that be the case? Do you recommend that to your team?
Yes, I absolutely recommend that to my team, and also or other friends and other people that I meet on day to day, to make sure. Because why certify is a way to help you to make sure that you are up to date with all the different elements in such domain. Here we are talking about privacy, and in privacy, those certification can help you really give you a good understanding, a good overview on the subject of privacy solutions that are existing, on the way that you can focus and validate the technical skills and the knowledge which is needed in your sector, and also in your in your day-to-day business. It will help you also building and also making sure that you have a comprehensive way on how data privacy measurement can be implemented in your business. And here we are talking about the last, I think it's the past 3 years. ISACA, which is a global learning community worldwide, have come up with a new certification, which is Certified Data Privacy Solution Engineering, CDPC in short. And those certification really help professionals on those technical privacy skills gap, to make sure that they have enough knowledge on the way they should protect the right of the people, and the right of the users, and the human aspect on that, on their right. So it will help you to mitigate the risk that can be found in those technology. We know that we cannot have 100% security. Anytime we are making change, anytime we are evolving, we are innovating, there is also those technology come up with some risk that have to be considered, and different skills are really needed to make sure that you can easily help your organization, help your company to grow on those different matters. Those skills that we can find in those certification can be, how do you I apply the knowledge of security and privacy, like we were sharing, because it's really a challenge today. How do you bridge the technology and the legal aspects on those technology? As we know today, all the technology what we are using, there is no more borders. Those are technology that can be used in those different companies. We were talking a few minutes ago regarding GDPR, which applies, of course, if you are processing that European data, but there are also other requirements of compliance, privacy compliance aspect in other countries as well. So because today we are dealing with digital, and it's all the data can be over the world, this is really a challenge for professionals, and it's a need to have a kind of harmonized way of looking to this topic, and certification is one of them. And it's one of the important aspects, because it's help you to have those such great overview, and to make sure that you have a good understanding on those different aspects. It could be on data life cycle, data privacy, privacy architecture, privacy best practices that can be shared with other professionals, privacy design, privacy governance, and different privacy solutions that exist. So as you see, there is a lot of things to be considered, and it's very good to have a certification, because if you have such certification as this one provided by ISACA, then you make sure that you have at least the minimum understanding all different area which you have to cover as professional to make sure that the data and information of private and privacy are protected as such.
Completely agree with you. And I think for those who don't know, Ajit and me are board members at ISACA Belgium chapter. And ISACA does offer, as Ajit said, the CDPSE, which is a privacy certification. Along with other privacy certification, this can be worthwhile, and this is more suitable for technology professionals, IT
Yeah.
professionals, security professionals, to gain various aspects of privacy, privacy governance, data lifecycle, privacy by design. And it's more geared from technical perspective, so you may want to consider it. And if you want to know more, isaka.be can be a place to go and find out when is our next boot camp, wherein we share details about these certifications. But that's a right moment, Ajit, for me to ask. ISACA, it's a large organization. We know that as board
Yeah.
members, and you as the president know even better, that we have 163,000 now more members worldwide. Then
Yes.
we have the Belgian chapter. So, what can we pass as a message to our listeners about ISACA, saying what is ISACA and why should they join Belgium chapter if they are in Belgium or any other chapter based on wherever they are?
Great, and thank you to make awareness to every listener here regarding our organization, and also why we are so excited to share the information and to make sure that everybody can join this great organization. Just to make sure that everybody understand the way it's working. Like you said, ISACA is worldwide organization and learning community with different domains regarding like privacy, like we have just mentioned, but there's also security, and it's well known because it's existing more than 50 years. That's a lot, actually. And all the benefits I can say here, one of them which I like the most is that within ISACA, there is a way to really interconnect on worldwide sites, or with all IT professionals, with all people like-minded on different subject, where you can interconnect with them. We can network with them. It could be physically or online, of course, with all different technology that we can use to make sure that we can interact on those different subjects. And it's also a good way to make sure that you are not doing your own things in your company without checking what others are doing, what is the best practices which can be shared with other experts worldwide. If we are talking like now today, privacy and security, we know that those two topics are the topics that worldwide are a challenge, and the way we can interconnect together within this organization, it's help us, of course, to come up with great idea how in your company you can go fast implementing such projects regarding privacy and security, and the way also you can speak the same languages. We come up with the same terminology on the way we are doing things. We come up with a look and insight on really deep insight on the different elements regarding those two subjects, to make sure that everybody is aligned on it. And there is also such opportunity that the people can ask the questions. They can meet whenever they want. They can choose which event they want to attend, to make sure if they want to be more expert in such a domain. And of course, like we said, they can be trained as well. There are trainings which are available for the members. And also no members are welcome, of course, to follow those trainings, which are the trainings are also well known worldwide, meaning that the certification that you also get from ISACA are the certification that worldwide, wherever you go in any country, they know ISACA, because the ISACA it's more present in more than 200 countries. There are different chapters, like they say, like our chapters here in Belgium. In Belgium, also, we are very, very, very active. We have different activities that we provide to our community here in Belgium, which are also covering the different aspect domain, like IT governance, privacy, of course, like we said here, security. We have risk management. We have all those different topics that we can cover, and we interconnect with the community here in Belgium with different other organizations to make sure that we are adding value to all IT professionals in Belgium, to help them also grow in their career, to make sure that they have enough knowledge which they can be using in the day-to-day life, of course. So what I can say, just go to our website and follow the different events that we have, and come meet us. Most of the time, our events are also free and free for access, meaning that you can meet us and you can discuss with different other IT professionals regarding those topics that we are talking today.
Indeed, ISACA is a good community for security, privacy, and IT professionals. And most people think of COPIT as a framework. COPIT comes from ISACA.
Yeah.
That's something you need to know. And the good part about ISACA membership is you get access to local chapter membership, which is means you get to local insights into what's happening, and the global events, which means you also retain a flavor of local and global for one membership rather than having to have two memberships. And it's very cost effective. It's not so expensive. So if you're in the privacy community, security community, or IT community, this can be a very good membership for you. And Ajit, one more thing, because apart from the ISACA relation that you have, you're also the CEO of SOCRAI. So what does SOCRAI do? Because that's where your security knowledge and security insights and security impact in the region comes from.
Yes, thank you for asking the questions. Indeed, beside being the president of ISACA Belgium, I'm the CEO of SOCRAI. SOCRAI is a private company here in Flemish area in Belgium. And what we do is really, we found it now it's in 2019 with one of my co-founder here at Nobers. And we were two working as consultant in different helping different companies on privacy, of course, implementation with GDPR and other topic in security, because we are both security professionals and also master in cybersecurity. So we found it because we saw that in the evolving of IT and evolving also on those technology, and in the consulting, there was always one element that have been always overlooked, which is the human aspect. So and we know each other for more than 25 years, my co-founder and I, and we had this idea to say, okay, we want to build a company which really make sense in everything that we are doing. And I think here I'm very happy that you asked the questions. If we are looking to privacy and security, there is also one element, like I said, is the human aspect on those topic. And when we are speaking with different people in the IT world, sometimes we intend to forget that behind all those innovation, behind all those technology that we see today evolving and you be used by everybody, there is always an idea that this comes from one person. And it's quite important to address also in everything we are doing, in the framework that we are implementing, in the solution that we are implementing. We make sure that the human aspect are being addressed. Maybe it's quite easier to say it, saying the human aspect, but if we see in the implementation what we mean actually in there, is to make sure, if whenever I'm implementing something, a solution, like we are saying here for privacy, how do I make sure that the people, the IT professionals behind, have a good understanding on the human right, of course, but also the way the learning path of those professionals. How do they make sure that they are following such framework learning, and also addressing the people that are going to use those technology? What the kind of knowledge do they have to have? So the reason, that's also the reason we created our own platform, which has now been testing by different customers. And this platform will help organization on the different area in their company to learn according to, of course, the project of the program that they are implementing in their own company, on the different elements that an user, of an employee, of a customer, which kind of information they need to know, so that they're speaking the same languages, they are on the same page, a kind of maturity, and also making sure that they are linking to the security as well. So we are a group of more than today 16 what we call tribe members, what are people working with us and different companies, and also working with some partners out here in our community, to make sure that we deliver an added value to all of our customers, of course, on those different domains.
That's very nice to hear. And you mentioned about the human aspect. So I'll ask you a human question, because that's what people ask me, because we are entrepreneurs, we are consultants, we are board members, we are founders, and we are so on and so forth. How do you find time to do all this? Because SOCRAI, ISACA, then the community, then networking, then family, then personal life, fitness, clients, customers, complainers, everybody's there. And then how do you find time to balance all these? Because that's a common question. And maybe people would be interested to know how do you manage to do so much?
Well, great question. And indeed, I think I receive a lot of those questions because people are saying, of course, doing different activities. One key element, of course, is to have a great discipline, if I may say like that. It's a way you have really to manage yourself before you are managing orders, and before, of course, you can interact with orders. You should make sure that you manage yourself, and it's quite important in there. There is a kind of balance that you have to find out in those different activities that I'm doing. For instance, for me, it's really the balance that I'm getting from those different elements, and the way that I measure that. I use one of the things that I do also. My co-founder, I think we have learned that in a different way now we are doing our companies. We start each year by setting up our goals, making sure that we are aligned on the goals, but also not only the goals for the company, but personal goals. I have now in my office, I cannot show it now, but I have a kind what we call a mood board, which I'm writing down every year, setting my goals, saying, okay, what is my balance on privacy and personal goals, and also professional goals, and also how do I balance those two elements. And it's quite important, of course, because we are interacting and engaged in different organization, is to make sure that I can get back those my investment that I'm sharing, but also by making sure that I'm giving back as well. So we are very lucky because we are working in the it's not feels like working actually, because we do it out of passion in what we are doing. And we see that if I say in ISACA, and I see the interaction with the people, with my customer, and interaction with different IT professionals, those are different people that you meet all the time. They are the same people, and it's quite easier in that matter, because if I'm doing something for ISACA, I can meet different of my customers as well. I can meet different IT professionals, which we are working together in a different project for our customers, and I can link as well, so we can learn together. So we are developing different things together, and that's the beauty of all those activities, and the reason also we're keeping engaged in those areas, because we get a lot of back on those different elements, and we can also give back to the community by sharing the expertise, by giving our time, of course, making sure that we evolving as a person, but evolving as community as well.
Indeed, I think very well said. Discipline, priorities, goals, all these things help you to streamline, and you need to have your goals not only professionally but personally, financially, spiritually, mentally, physically, everywhere. And then you're following your goals, and life. We all, of course, have 24 hours, but when we have goals, those help us propel and deliver more in those 24 hours. But with
Indeed.
that, I would say it's been a wonderful conversation, Ajit. I never realized that we are almost 30 minutes plus in the conversation. So I would say at this moment, thank you so much for being here and sharing your time, insights, and wisdom.
Thank you very much for the invitation, and looking forward to the next one.
Thanks for listening. If you liked the show, feel free to share it with a friend and write a review. If you have already done so, thank you so much. And if you did not like the show, don't bother and forget about it. Take care and stay safe. Fit for Privacy helps you to create a culture of privacy and manage risks by creating, defining, and implementing a privacy strategy that includes delivering scenario-based training for your staff. We also help those who are looking to get certified in CIPPE, CIPM, and CIPT through on-demand courses that help you prepare and practice for certification exam. Want to know more? Visit www.fit4privacy.com. That's www.fit4privacy.com. If you have questions or suggestions, drop an email at hello@fit4privacy.com. Until next time, goodbye.